Biggest fight of your career, no doubt, so far, I'd say. But are you surprised that it's happening here when there's a huge fight in Australia just a few weeks from now?
I wasn't. I know I wanted to fight earlier, so like I wanted to fight in like Vegas a few months ago, and then fight in Melbourne. But when they offered me Misha Cirkunov, who's a ranked opponent in his home country, I was like, I'll be stupid to turn that offer down. So it sucks not being on at home, but it's part of the game, and I get to go watch the Melbourne card as a fan.
Yeah, fair enough. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more events in Australia. And like you said, exactly. When you get offered a ranked opponent, you don't turn your nose at that regardless of where it is.
Exactly. That's what I like. If I'd have done that, I asked for him, and then you turn him down. I hate that. I hate when people do that.
True. Yeah. Fair enough. So why was that a fight that you asked for? Was it just at the time rankings wise, or was there something about Misha that you thought made sense for you?
Yeah, I didn't ask for Misha. I asked for a ranked opponent.
Right. Okay. And when you got Misha, was that a matchup you liked?
Yeah. I think it's going to be a great fight, and it's a good testing thing for me. I get to test myself against one of the best fighters in the world. So like to me, it's not about taking easy fights. It's about testing myself, and I had to improve to beat Misha Cirkunov. I have to be the best Jimmy Crute that's ever been, and I have to perform better than I ever have. So it's a really cool way to test myself.
What do you think the story is on him right now? I mean, he came in, he had that red hot UFC start, a lot of quick finishes and stuff, and then there's been some up and down results since then. But you look at I think he has the shortest average fight time of any active fighter in your weight class. So whether it goes his way or not, their fights are ending quickly, definitively. What do you kind of read into him and kind of how his career is unfolding in the UFC?
I don't really think too much into it. I don't look at him getting knocked out so easily and be like, he's got a glass chin. I know that he's had time off after his last fight, and I know that was the first time he's done it in his career, so he might come back a different fighter. I know I had time off for the first time in my career after my last fight, and I don't feel like the same bloke I was in February. So I'm just prepared for the best Misha Cirkunov there's ever been, and whatever he's not at that, whatever level he is below, that is his problem.
Yeah, and you mentioned your time off, and it seems like you wanted to fight sooner, but can you see the upside in it then, now that you've seen how much you've developed?
Well, after my fight, I said I want to have some time off, and then I was sitting at home and I was like, this is so boring. And I was like, put me in. But I think having the time off is the best decision I've made. As I said before, I just feel like a different fighter to what I was in February.
And in what sense? Everything?
Smarter. I'm stronger. I'm fitter. I'm refreshed. I did how long? I've been fighting for 3-4 years nearly, and I haven't had more than a week off either training or work ever. Maybe I might have had 2 weeks off. I've never had a proper holiday. I've either been training or working. So.
Did you take one during this break?
Yeah, I've had the longest holiday in my career. So.
What did you do?
It was sort of for work. We did some stuff with AirAsia for work, and we went to Japan, did the Reebok Summit in Koh Samui, then went to Phuket, and then I went to Bali for a holiday with my girlfriend and her family.
Nice.
So it was really good.
And that just helps you kind of refresh, reset, like you said.
Yeah, I got really fat too, which was nice. I got to just eat all the food and drink all the beer, so nice. it was hard coming back. It was the first time I ever struggled to get back into training, but as soon as I hit my stride, I took off, and I've never been in this shape before.
That's awesome. And you're part of this new crop of light heavyweights that are coming on the rise on the scene. But it's interesting the changes we've seen in this division in just the past few weeks. These guys moving up. There's Rockwold's already moved up. Jacare just announced he's coming up. What do you see when you see all these veterans kind of coming in the division, adding more depth? It seems like that there's been a really long time.
The more the merrier. I think the light heavyweight division up until a year ago was dead. And now, I feel like I'm part of the new wave of light heavyweights. I'm not even talking about the middleweights that come up, but I feel like I'm part of the new wave of light heavyweights coming through. So that's pretty cool. And all the middleweights moving up, I don't understand why people cut so much weight. I've I've never cut massive amount of weight. Like, people say I'm small for the division, but you know, I'd rather have a sharp brain in there than drain myself for a few pounds advantage. Mate, I just fight with guys bigger than me.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, you win this fight. You look at what just happened with Johnny Walker. He's basically in a #1 contender fight now with Corey Anderson. You would assume that there's a good chance the winner of that could get a title shot.
Yeah.
So if you beat him, does that put you in a similar position to get a fight like that?
Nah.
Why not?
Nah, I think the UFC want to bring me. Johnny Walker's in his prime. I'm still 4 years out of my prime. I think they'll sort of creep me into the top 10, top 5. You know, I'll fight anyone they put in front of me. Though I'm not saying, oh no, I won't fight guys too high ranked. Like if they offer me John Jones tomorrow, I'd be like, yeah, no problem. If they offered me anyone tomorrow, yeah, no problem. But yeah, I feel like this is a giant step in my career, and this will be like my showcase to the world who I am. So yeah, it's going to be a big fight nonetheless.
There'll be no more you don't know who Jimmy Crute is after this one.
Yeah, you heard of Crute? You heard of Jimmy Crute? That was the best. Yeah, I got the best boss in the world, Dana White.
So well, last thing for all you, how do you see this panning out? Obviously, you know, you want to have a big spectacular win. What does it look like?
I think people are going to see another side of me and my fight IQ. You know, I've got a really good game plan, and I just see myself being too quick and too fast. And you know, I've been a bit like Broly in the past. I just stand in front and swing, but you know, I have the ability to move around and not take damage. And I've only just like recently got that over the last few fights. So like I've spent my whole career just basically being a punching bag that punches back, where now I just feel like I'm a much smarter fighter, and I'm doing all the stuff that I've like learnt over the years. One thing about me is I've never been talented. I've had to work my whole time, and I'm only doing stuff now that you should learn in your first year of striking. Like I'm not a talented person. I'm just stubborn. So yeah, I'm gonna see a new side.
Perfect. Well, looking forward to it, man. Appreciate it.
Oh man, thank you.